I am terrified every time I approach the security checkpoint. I have asthma, terrible allergies, and a child who needs liquid antibiotics. Everyone, and I mean everyone, tells me that if a liquid is over 3.4 ounces, it goes straight into the trash. Should I be pouring my expensive medicine into tiny travel bottles? Am I just at the mercy of whatever agent goes through my bags?
You are a victim of the most widespread misunderstanding in modern travel. The Transportation Security Administration has spent 20 years hammering the 311 rule into our brains. 3.4 ounces, 1 quart size bag. But here is what they almost never announce on the loudspeakers. That rule completely evaporates the second a liquid is medically necessary. You are legally allowed to bring liquid medications, even large bottles of contact lens solution, cough syrup, or liquid antibiotics, straight through the checkpoint. But there is a very specific, absolute psychological tripwire you must cross to use this federal exemption.
A tripwire? What do you mean? I cannot just leave the bottle in my backpack and hope they figure it out when it goes through the x-ray machine?
Exactly. If you leave a 10-ounce bottle of medicine randomly buried at the bottom of your bag, the x-ray operator sees a dense, oversized liquid anomaly. Their training demands they flag your bag for a search. By the time they pull it aside, the interaction becomes an interrogation. The secret is the exact timing of your declaration. Before your bags even touch the conveyor belt, you must hold the medication in your hand, make direct eye contact with the officer, and clearly state that you are carrying medically necessary liquids. By separating it from your other items and declaring it preemptively, you change the power dynamic. You are taking control of the screening process, forcing them to use the alternative medical testing protocols instead of treating you like a rule breaker. But wait until you hear the catch about how they actually test those liquids, because it catches thousands of passengers completely off guard.
Okay, so I declare the bottle up front. But how do they know it is actual medicine and not something dangerous? Are they going to open it? What if the medicine is sterile, and I cannot risk them contaminating it with dirty gloves?
That is a fantastic, highly valid fear. The officers generally use specialized test strips to detect explosive trace elements. In most cases, they will ask you, not them, to open the bottle. They do not pour it out, and they should not be dunking anything deep into your sterile liquids. They often just hold the test strip near the opening to catch vapors or test a tiny drop on the rim. But if you have an absolute phobia of the bottle being opened, or if opening it ruins the sterility, you have rights. You can explicitly tell the officer that it cannot be opened. However, if you refuse to open it, you are triggering a mandatory escalated screening block.
Escalated? Am I going to be taken to a back room just because I want to keep my baby's medicine clean?
No back room, but it will cost you significant time. If the liquid cannot be tested normally, the officer is required to conduct a thorough, aggressive pat-down of your body and a full manual inspection of your carry-on luggage to ensure there are no other threats. It is a trade-off, privacy and speed versus keeping the seal completely intact. The choice is yours. But speaking of keeping things perfectly intact, there is a massive myth regarding cold medication storage that causes people to throw away their life-saving insulin every single day. And the real rule is almost impossible to find on the airport signs.
Oh, I think I know this one. They always say ice packs have to be frozen completely rock solid. If they are even slightly slushy or melting, they count as a liquid and they throw them out. This makes traveling with refrigerated medicine, like insulin or certain autoimmune injections, a total nightmare. What happens if my flight is delayed and my ice pack starts melting before I reach security?
That is the standard rule for regular food and coolers. But you are traveling with medicine, which changes the legal framework entirely. Under strict federal guidelines, ice packs, freezer packs, and gel packs used specifically to cool medically necessary items are explicitly exempt from the frozen solid rule. Let me repeat this because it is vital. If those ice packs are keeping medicine cold, they are permitted even if they are partially melted, completely slushy, or totally liquid room temperature.
Wait, really? Even if it is totally melted juice inside the plastic? Why have I literally seen agents force older people to throw away gel packs at the checkpoint?
Because frontline officers are completely overwhelmed and sometimes rely on muscle memory rather than reading the fine print of federal regulations. They see a melting gel pack, their brain fires the liquid alert, and they reject it. If you face this situation, you must politely but firmly ask for a supervisor. The magic phrase is this: "These gel packs are medically necessary to cool my prescription, which qualifies them for the medical liquid exemption." The supervisor knows the actual handbook. But there is another paperwork myth that creates even more panic. It is a lie about original pill bottles that keeps countless travelers awake at night.
This is my biggest headache. I take 5 different vitamins and 3 prescription pills. They take up so much space in my bag if I keep them all in their original, bulky pharmacy bottles with my name on the labels. But the internet swears that if you use a Sunday to Saturday pill organizer, security will confiscate your medicine because they cannot prove what it is.
Let us completely demolish that internet myth right now. The Transportation Security Administration is hunting for explosives, dangerous weapons, and catastrophic threats to aviation. They are not pharmacists, and they are not local narcotics detectives. The official federal policy clearly states that the Security Administration does not require your medications to be in original prescription bottles. You can put your pills in day-of-the-week organizers, random plastic baggies, or small travel tins. Domestically, they do not care. They do not cross-check your name against a pill imprint.
Oh my goodness, that frees up half of my carry-on suitcase. I can just bag my pills?
Yes, but you need to hear the critical, absolute warning attached to this freedom. I said the Security Administration does not care. Local law enforcement, however, does care. If your bag is searched for another reason and airport police find a baggie of unmarked white pills, you could face immense legal delays while they test them, and you must never, ever use the baggie method on an international flight. Customs borders operate under entirely different, ruthless laws.
International borders? Why, what happens if I fly to London or Tokyo with my regular daily medicine or allergy pills?
This is where innocent American travelers get arrested. What is legally prescribed over the counter in the United States might be a severe criminal felony in another country. Take Sudafed, for example. The common, everyday decongestant contains pseudoephedrine. If you bring that into Japan, even clearly labeled in its original box, you are smuggling illegal stimulants under Japanese law. You can be detained, deported, or jailed immediately upon landing.
I had absolutely no idea. I literally keep Sudafed in the bottom of my purse at all times for plain ear popping. What about prescription drugs like ADHD medicine?
Medications like Adderall are heavily restricted or completely banned in massive parts of the world, including parts of Europe and Asia. The security checkpoint in New York will let you through with it, leading you to believe you are safe. They are only enforcing American rules for boarding. They will not warn you that your destination country will view you as a narcotics smuggler. You must contact the embassy of the country you are visiting, not the airline, to verify your specific drug ingredients. Speaking of things that cause silent disasters at the airport, we have to talk about medical devices. Because walking through a scanner with an insulin pump can actually be life-threatening.
Wait, life-threatening? I wear a continuous glucose monitor on my arm. The officers always gesture for me to walk into those big, round body scanners where you hold your arms over your head. Is that destroying my medical device?
It absolutely can destroy the complex microprocessors inside continuous glucose monitors and insulin pumps. The manufacturers explicitly warn against exposing these expensive devices to specific electromagnetic fields generated by advanced imaging technology or baggage X-ray belts. A destroyed monitor leaves you with zero medical data at 35,000 feet.
But they always snap at me when I hesitate. They say, "Step into the machine. It is perfectly safe." How do I fight back against agents pushing me into a scanner out of rush?
You do not need to fight. You just need to invoke your federal passenger rights. At any security checkpoint, you have the inviolable legal right to opt out of the electronic body scanner. When you reach the front of the line, point clearly to your device and say, "I am wearing an electronic medical device and I am opting out for a manual pat-down." Do not ask for permission. State it as a fact. They are legally required to provide a manual, physical pat-down instead. The machine will not touch you.
I can just demand a pat-down? That is amazing. But what if I am so overwhelmed, or I am traveling with my severe PTSD or mobility issues, that I cannot even handle talking to these agents and advocating for myself?
This brings us to the ultimate hidden VIP layer of medical travel, a free federal secret program called TSA Cares. Because if you know exactly how to trigger this safety mechanism, you never have to walk through airport security alone ever again.
TSA Cares? I have literally never seen a sign for that in any terminal in my entire life. Is it some kind of paid medical concierge service, like an airline lounge?
It is entirely free, funded by taxpayer dollars, and deliberately kept low profile so it is not abused. If you have medical anxiety, autism, a physical disability, or complex medical equipment, and you register online exactly 3 to 5 days before your flight, they dispatch a passenger support specialist. A dedicated, highly trained agent will meet you before security, take your luggage, guide you through a specialized lane, and personally interpret all of your medical needs to the screening officers.